Hey there, YouTube. It's Michelle, and it is Saturday. No, it is not. It's Friday after Thanksgiving, Black Friday, and I am coming with you with a very, very late um, video share of the journal I created for Nick the Buff Smith's Deserted Island Challenge. And, I'm not sure what happened. I don't know where I was, but the rescue boat came about a week ago for everybody else. And here I am a week late, just now getting rescued, but wanted to share in the adventure. So my mojo's been down, way down, non existent, in the ICU, in critical condition. And I don't know what happened, but I just started this morning. I had the idea, had everything I wanted to use, and just couldn't get it together. And boom, woke up this morning and just started working on it. Went to my brother's for my second Thanksgiving celebration and came home and finished it. So just want to share with you my not entry, but definitely inspired by everyone who did some incredible journals. And Nick, just want to thank her for the inspiration and the challenge because it brought so many crafters out that I'd never seen before, and just got to know some new crafters. So overall, it was a great time. So here we go. It is the Deserted Island Challenge, where we were allowed four things that were givens, and I chose Fabri-Tac as my glue, a pair of scissors, my needle and thread, and then the paper pack I chose was from the Dollar Tree because I've done all those Dollar Tree challenges. And this is kind of like a newsprint. Large pieces, which was great because then you could cut them down, use the offsets for stenciling and borders, etc., etc. So those were the givens. And my chosens, because whenever I go on a trip, and the boat capsized, but I always try to take a little bit of home. So Enstrom is an almond toffee company here in Denver, and I chose one of their boxes. I took it apart, and I like it because I use the closure here just to help close the journal. You'll see when I show you my journal, but I have Enstrom's box. I, of course, have some Distress Oxide and the Dauber. I chose Sizzix Tim Holtz. I guess this is Sizzix. Who does the stamp? Stampers Anonymous by Tim Holtz, and I just chose the script stamp. Now, mind you, when he designed these, they're backwards. The idea is so that way when you print with stays on vellum or on some type of acrylic, the writing when you flip it is then correct, but doesn't matter, you get the idea. So I use that to stamp, and then I actually used some cord, about a yard of cord, for the string tie. My spine is actually a floating spine, so I was able to thread the cord in between the spine and the actual journal pages in order to make a tie for the journal. So let me show you what I created. This is my journal here. And I don't even have a ruler with me. I've been bringing all of my crafting supplies from my office to my basement at home. And goodness, everything is just in tubs. So no idea where a ruler is. But I would say probably maybe 4x6. It looks like a 4x6. Here's I just happen to have this is one of those envelopes that's been covered with a napkin. So this is what, 4.5x5 or whatever, 6. It's a 6x9 mailer. So when you fold it in half, it's 4 and something by 6. So you can see it in relation to the journal. So there's about a 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch on each side. So yeah. So much for the guesstimation. Anyway, on the front here, I have fashioned just a little note, and it looks like some notes been kind of like crumpled up and tied. And this is just a journaling spot here, and I just tucked it in the front. That you'll see that the cover, again, I just took a sheet of the paper, and you can see some of the instruments coming through, but it's not dark enough that it takes away from the design. And so I just covered the box with a sheet of the paper and then stamped using the stamp. And it just ties, not there, and opens up like so. So the binding method that I used is not, I did not use a pamphlet stitch or sew the signatures in, but this is like an origami stitch. Paula, and I'm gonna say it's Fodder, Foeder, did a tutorial, and I guess it was called a blizzard journal, because the woman who Paula is giving credit to was in a blizzard, and she created a journal using some origami stitching. And so this is 3 of the binding systems glued together, and then adhered. One is adhered on one side at the beginning and the other at the end. So what's cool about these pages is the binding actually is just folded, so you can lift it up and slip the pages out to journal on them, right? Do whatever you need to do. So you see I've used some of the thread. I've done a couple of, that's a lazy daisy stitch there. Definitely all I've done for the most part is a lot of distressing and stamping, but the pages just slide in like that, and then you just close them back up. And so let's go throughout. So this next page is doesn't have anything in it, kind of to give it some space. This is like a floating tag here. It's adhered with some of the string, and I did the lines using my Distress ink top there, and so back there, but it just kind of slips up in there, and just pull that up to kind of hold it in place. And on this side is a journaling card, and I used this of my thread to make the circles there. And so again, so there's just the pages, and they, again, you just like this, pull them out, you can journal, and then you slip them back into the binding and close it up. And so basically just some origami. Here's one of the center folds here. This one actually has a pocket page in it, a couple of tuck spots, some journaling cards in here, cut out a heart and did some stenciling again with the stamp. Here's a sheet here, just journaling, more journaling paper tucked in a pocket page, and you just slip them back in and close them up. Oops, move the tag out the way. There we go. Next page, the lines. And the way I created these lines, let me show you, is I use this page where I just rip the edge. And so then all you do is you just kind of line them up and then use the side of the dauber. So that way you're getting a very thin line, and then just moving it down the page. So I created some journaling spots there. This page, altogether there are, I think I've counted 11 spaces, because the back one I ended up putting a pocket, but that can slip in pages. So we did there, we did there. You saw the lines here. Oh, this next page, I have an envelope. And so the envelope lifts up like that. You open it up, take it out, slide it out, and this becomes one large journaling sheet there. And to put it back, you just fold it back, slide it back in the little triangle. That's that. And then I just tucked this in so that it would kind of close. And tucked in. And then I made a raggedy. Hey, if you're going to be inspired by Nick, you might as well. So it's a raggedy here. It's got a belly band kind of sort of situation. And just 2 pieces of journaling paper. 2 of the circles again. And then just the back has the actual heart doily that I use for stenciling. So that fits in there. This page, of course, take the raggedy out, lift up, and this page slips out. You'll see I did a flower there, some embroidery with some French knots. Oh, in the back. So all the pages have just been stenciled, very monotone, but you know, if you're stuck on a deserted island, I just don't know if you're going to have a whole bunch of color. I really pushed myself. I did not want to use any papers, you know, design paper. So this slips out and slips back in. But again, all of the pages come all the way out so that you could write on them and then just slide them back into the book. So here was another edge that I had been using for doing some of the distressing. Here's this page. Open it up, slip it out, use it for journaling. And then of course, because most of the stuff I did a secondary step, first stamping and then a second stamping, all you need is a black magic mark, a nice Sharpie would be able to write on top of this. So let me put this back. There we go. There. And then back, another sheet's just in there here. And then I'm going to take this out so you can see my back pocket. So this sheet just slides out. It's got just stamping, some more circles on it. But you can see now the back pocket. This is in the back side of the, on the back side of the cover. And I've made the pocket, and this is where I adhered the binding system onto the cardboard box. And I made a little tab here, and then just the envelope opens. There's nothing in there. And I did a blanket stitch around, did some stitching, pulled out the old Girl Scout in me, did some blanket stitching in there, mostly because it was starting to rip, and I saw that, so I decided I'd go on ahead and reinforce it with something decorative. And then there's a tab here, and tag comes out right there. So I think for me, this was just really therapeutic. Again, I hadn't made anything. A girlfriend wanted thank you card for her husband for Thanksgiving. And that kind of got me started back into the flow. And then, like I said, I've been watching everybody. I'm not sure how many of those videos I watched, but it was great getting to meet some new crafters with this challenge. I think, Nick, you should really be proud of yourself. I'm sure this was, you know, you never know how much participation you're going to get in something like this. But I think it was simple enough and fun enough and a great challenge. I really have enjoyed watching and seeing what everyone else has created using their givens and their chosens. And it's just been fun. It's been really great inspiration all around. So I hope someone is inspired by my little entry, if nothing else, to know that, hey, if your mojo's gone, it can come back at any point in time. And yeah, just sometimes it just takes a little inspiration for some other crafters, and we have an incredible crafty community. So I hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving. Hope you didn't spend out too much money today, Black Friday. And we will see you soon. Take care. Bye.